the meeting. Welcome everybody, and thank you so much for taking your time out to come to this month's meeting. We're going to go over our monthly reports. We have the Honolulu Fire Department. Okay. Next, we have the Honolulu Police Department. Okay. Not present. Next, we have Board of Water Supply. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn it over.
I just want everybody to know that we wanted to do a presentation to our council member Calvin Say, but unfortunately he's held up in a committee meeting. And so he sends his apology, but I think Pua is here, right? So Pua is here representing council member Calvin Say. But I'm sure you folks all know Calvin Say. He's been a public servant for over 48 years. And so he's been representing Pālolo Chinese Home for as long as some of us have even been alive or born. So we wanted to recognize him. He is a very special person. There's so much things that have gone on in our community, and it's all because of his generosity, his hard work, and his commitment to really providing what's best for the people of Pālolo. But he started in the House of Representatives in 1976 to 2020. He was also Speaker of the House for 13 years until 2013. He's a proud graduate of St. Louis High School, so local boy, and he received a bachelor's degree in education, so he's an educator by background. So he's not here, but I just wanted all of us to give him a standing ovation on behalf of the Pālolo Valley, the Pālolo Neighborhood Board, and on behalf of all of the citizens here. Thank you so much, Calvin. We're gonna miss you. And we wanted to present Pua with a certificate of appreciation on behalf of the Pālolo Neighborhood Board, but I saw Dahlia. Anybody else want to say anything on behalf of Council Member Calvin Say?
Something. All right, I'd like to read this. It says, Certificate of Appreciation. The Pālolo Neighborhood Board, District 6, presents this certificate of appreciation to Council Member Calvin Say in recognition of his tireless efforts, unwavering support, and dedication to our Pālolo Valley community. Your hard work and commitment as a public servant are truly appreciated.
On behalf of Calvin Say, my boss, he truly appreciates this board, especially because he was born and raised in Pālolo. And he wanted to come today as, because this is our last board that we're actually doing for the year. But he sends his regrets that he couldn't come because currently he's actually in full council right now still since 8:30 this morning. So yeah, but he's thinking about you guys and he just wanted to let you guys know aloha kalikimaka, and I hope you guys have a wonderful year.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. He's going to be around.
So anyway, I also wanted to shout out to Calvin Say because he's been very active in our community. He was even president of the United Chinese Society at one time. And I remember him taking me under his wing. And at that time, he's very active in many, many other organizations. And some of the things I wanted to mention, he participated in a Pālolo stream cleanup. He also helped us with the landslide area in the valley here for many, many years. He was assisting us with monster homes, traffic light signals. I remember standing on the corner with him to regulate the left turns coming out of the valley, and also parking restrictions. He helped us with speeding, bike lanes, I guess some mobile vehicles that were making a lot of noise in the valley. And he was an advocate for many small businesses and for the students in our community. So this resolution is just a small token of the many, many wonderful things he has done. And he is well appreciated, well loved, and we hope to see him soon. Yeah. Okay. Mahalo, Calvin, if you're watching.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Dalia Swenga. I live in Pālolo Homes and also work there under Mutual Housing Association of Hawaii at Pālolo Homes. But I also wanted to thank Calvin Say for the many years that he's supported our community with the renovations. And many years ago, in 1996, I coached a Little League baseball team at the field when Mr. Pacheco was at the park them days ago. But Calvin Say was one of the sponsors, and he bought our teams jackets and uniforms, and it just continued to just bloom into so many different ways. And I just wanted to send our aloha from Mutual Housing with and our crew at Pālolo Homes as well, and the residents of Pālolo Homes. We're going through our renovation right now, and Calvin Say was a go-getter and a huge supporter during our first renovation that happened in 2002. So we're in 2024 now, and we're going through another renovation, almost 20 years later, just to keep the community updated and what's going on. But he's always been supportive, and I just wanted to thank him so much from the bottom of our heart, from all the residents at Pālolo Homes and Mutual Housing. Mahalo, Calvin. Thank you.
Hi, Calvin. This is Martha Sampson. I'm the former advisory chair for many years for Project Donna. And Project Donna is a volunteer caregiving organization in Hawaii. And Calvin has always been so supportive of Project Donna these many years. So I just wanted to say aloha and our many thanks. And also, I'm here on behalf of Kaleolani Leo, who's my daughter. And she has a nonprofit called Long Spoon Farms, and more about that later. But she also sent these nice freeze-dried bananas for Calvin, so I'll be giving that him as well. Many mahalos to Calvin, and thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, so much for taking the time to honor Calvin, Councilmember Calvin Say. Before we move on, I also wanted to add on just a little bit of how big of an impact he was in the community. As Dalia mentioned, he's been a huge support in Pālolo Valley. And one of the events that really stuck out to me, aside of the little leagues that he supported, was the graduation, the makeshift graduation in the Pālolo District Park field. If you folks didn't know, of course, during the COVID years, they stopped, celebrating graduation, graduates. And it really, really, put the students, make them feel down. So teaming together with Dalia and Calvin and Pua and They really pulled it off. They threw a graduation in the district park. So thank you. That meant so much to the students. I reached out to a few students and I'm happy to say that they're in college, so they couldn't make it, but they send their love and thanks for that year of throwing that graduation, putting that ceremony together in the park. So thank you. And I'm gonna sit side. Okay. Yes.
And thank you to Darlene Nakayama, our board member, for getting the certificate out. And, and Camelia and Hua. Hey, all three of you. Mahalo.
Okay. All right. Moving on to board business, approval of regular meeting written summary for video record, Wednesday, November 13th. We're gonna defer that. We don't have any quorum. We don't have quorum. And then filling vacancies. Don't have quorum. Okay, we're gonna move on to presentations. And that's gonna be Kaimiki Neighborhood Board, a resolution regarding the bus route 200. Leolani.
Just let them know that we won't be able to vote in support or against.
Okay.
If we don't have-
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear
thank
me?
you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Leolani Iwaki. I am a resident, your neighbor on Aloha Avenue in Kapahulu. I'm here regarding the removal, well, the establishment of bus line Route 200. What the Department of Transportation did was they told us at the time that the 200 was established that they were doing it to bring Pālolo residents into Waikiki. By doing that, what they did was bring the Pālolo the 200 bus into Kaimiki, near Kaimiki High School, to that left near Kaimiki High School, up Kaimiki Avenue, onto 6th Avenue, Aloha Avenue, and then KCC and down Montserrat to get you to Waikiki. Now, anyone who has traveled Aloha or, Kapahulu, that area, they know that the streets are so busy. We have a lot of traffic that comes there. It's really an unsafe place for a bus to be traveling, and people are really flying there. They're moving very fast. We have a lot of students, right? They go up to KCC. They come on 6th Avenue and go up on Aloha to go to KCC. We have Biki bikes. We have all kinds of, skateboards, bikes, you name it, mopeds, everything is coming down to and from KCC. I want to just show you really quickly, on Aloha Avenue, there are 2 hills that makes it really unsafe for a bus or for cars. It's already unsafe when we have cars and the traffic, any other traffic. I don't know if you can all see this, but fine. This is the hill. Sorry, this is a hill. This is a hill that's on KCC, on Aloha Avenue. And then this is the hill, sorry, on 6th Avenue. There are 2 hills. So what it is this hill is this way, this hill is this way, and you've got 10th Avenue that comes down to Aloha. Okay, so you see the hills. You have right here, you have the top of the hill. You got the bottom of the hill. You got cars approaching. You got cars coming from on top. They cannot see. It's a blind spot. When you have a bus and you add a bus to the mix of having mopeds and cars, students and bicycles and everything flying up there, it really, really gets dangerous. This is just a real bad accident waiting to happen. Also, thank you. On Aloha Avenue, one side is, as you can see, one side has sidewalks, the other side does not. The Department of Transportation also told us that, you know, of course, it's to bring our kupuna to, you know, so that everyone can travel to between Pālolo and there we go, Pālolo and Waikiki. But this is what's happening. We've got kupuna coming to the streets where there's no sidewalk. They're sitting on the street, and with cars and bikes and mopeds and everything, you know, flying by there. I mean, that poor guy. I mean, I don't, you know, the anxiety that you that the residents there are experiencing are really high because of the unsafe conditions. So what we're asking today is for the Pālolo Valley Board to please support our resolution. And our resolution would be to reroute the bus line from Kaimiki 6 and Aloha to remove that and have it go from Waialae Avenue up to Coco Head, 18th Avenue in that route. So we're hoping that you will support our resolution to do that today. You have any question? No? Okay, thank you. Leahi Hospital.
Can we get your question to the mic, please? If you can please, yes, present, give us your name, say your name and then your question. Thank you so much.
Bobby, my name is Bobby, and I was wondering if the bus ride past Leahi.
The bus 200, if it goes past Leahi Hospital, it actually goes past Diamond Head Theater because it's on Aloha. But Leahi is behind, right? Yeah, but it goes up to KCC. Yeah, there's already a lot of buses that do make that roundabout, Diamond Head, Leahi Hospital. They already do that, yeah. Break. I don't think so. No, I don't think that's where they take a break, no.
Oh, hello. My name is Juanita Liu, and I live on Aloha for many years. I also have kind of a background in this area because I'm a retired professor from the UH. My background is in, I have a PhD in economic geography, but my master's is actually on exactly this kind of thing, which is regional planning and regional methodologies. So a lot of my courses had to deal with location theories, dealing with issues like this. So I'm kind of looking at it from an analytical perspective. You know, in looking at this, we have here a situation in which we have a bus route that is connecting two loops, the Pālolo Valley and then also the Kapiolani Park. So the loop goes through Kamiki Kapuhulu area, and that's our area of concern. There are different ways of drawing that connector, okay? So what they have done is they have chosen to go the route that Leolani explained. Now, that's a very good question. Does it go past Leahi Hospital? Well, bus route number 9 used to go there. Bus route number 9 used to cut straight down. You see that green line in the middle of this big rectangle here that says Kamiki. So if you look at this big rectangle that says Kamiki, it's 20 blocks across, 8,000 feet, and up and down from Waialae to Diamond Head Road, the bottom there, it's 6 blocks or 4,000 feet. So there, you know, if you were to look at Pālolo Valley and you want to get there to go to Kapiolani Park, which route would you take? Okay, so they're trying to accommodate the Pālolo residents, but we also need to accommodate the Kaimiki residents, right? I mean, you want to have a bus route that's going to maximize your bus riderships and your bus coverage. And which route would you take? Well, you take the green route, and the reason is very simple because it transverses the middle of that rectangle so that people, and there are methodologies like that called nearest neighbor, or, and you can put it through algorithms or do a video game even, but you would draw that line right in the middle or across. But across is a problem because you have the freeway and all of that. So the best route to serve all your residents would be that line, that green line going straight down. Well, obviously they thought about it a long time ago because I think that Route 9 has been in existence over 50 years. And it would bring people straight through that neighborhood that would accommodate the Kamiki residents going to Wailai Avenue and Kamiki Town. So what they did was to remove that, but instead put the routing now going through the perimeter. You see the edge? And that's probably, from an analytical standpoint, the worst choice you can make. And the reason is because there's already 2 bus lines going on that route, okay? And to get to KCC. So you're putting it right in the middle of 2 bus routes, only 1 or 2 blocks away. And instead you're leaving whole 20-block area unserved. I don't think that's acceptable in terms of Kaimiki residents. Many people are really upset about that. It's not just the dangers of the street, which Leolani covered, but when we talk to people, they say, we want to have that route back. You know, it's a very useful route. It served a useful purpose for all those years. I'm trying to remember how long ago that bus route was there, because I went to Kamiki High School, and I remember after school taking the bus to Kamiki Town, the library, you know, cracked seed store, you know, you hang around, you get your turkey sandwich from Woolworths. So, you know, now the kids from Kamiki High cannot go directly. And by the way, the people who live in that central part, the big area, very densely populated, they cannot go directly to Wailai Avenue to Kamiki Town anymore. They now have to take 2 or 3, and they have to go all the way to Kahala Mall. You see that without that green line, they have to go to Kahala Mall, or they have to go to Market City. So it's actually killing your Kamiki Town business. I don't think that's kind of a smart move. So what we're proposing is taking away that line, you know, that nobody wants, because Leolani didn't mention, but she submitted a list of about 60 households of people that, you know, these 2 ladies went door to door, and they canvassed all the people in Kamiki. They went to Kapahulu area, Kamiki Avenue. They don't want it there. I was really surprised. They're very adamant about not having the bus route there. And there's no reason to really. And also Pālolo Valley, you know, so people, you know, and also a separate petition of 45 names and counting. So, you know, we have over 100 people, because not all of them are, you know, we only took 1 per household. So all of these people, we sent them the resolution, they support it fully. And still counting, because, you know, they haven't covered everybody yet. So this has received wide support from Kamiki, Kapahulu area. And we're hoping that Pālolo Valley residents will also support us in Kokua, because, you know, the anxiety level on my street, I mean, I live at the top of one of those hills. I have seen head-on crashes. I've seen motorcycle accident in front of my house. The guy was trying to stand up. It was really terrible. All kinds of accidents happening. And, you know, this 70 buses going back and forth every day on this street. I can see it just increasing the anxiety level of the residents. You know, we don't want it there. Okay, the alternative is putting it back where that number 9 used to be for more than 50 years, I would say, maybe 80 years. You know, it goes to Wailai Avenue so the Pālolo residents can get on the bus and go directly to Kamiki Town, where a lot of your services and everything are, the post office, the library, and so forth. And then it goes down Cocoa Head Avenue to Pahoa, and then it goes down past the Kamiki Middle School and also the Diamond Head Cemetery. And then you go down into the Diamond Head area, Diamond Head, Ruger Market, and so forth. And you're still going to accomplish the goal that DTS set out, which is to provide an access for Pālolo residents to get to Waikiki. But instead of going down this dangerous route, I mean, who wants to go to Kamiki Avenue, 6th Avenue, and Aloha? There's nothing there, okay? It's like a wasteland. But if you go the other way, you're going to hit all of these points of interest, and they call it key destinations in planning. And I think that would serve both the Kamiki and Kapahulu residents, as well as the Pālolo residents, much better than what they are proposed, what they are doing. Okay. And for example, I'll give you an example. It's not only those of us who live there, it's people who want to come into this area. So John Rampage, he's with Diamond Head Theater, and he sent me an email because I heard that he was grumbling about the bus route. So he said, in order to get to work, it used to take him 25 minutes, very easy bus ride. Now it takes him 2 to 3 transfers, 2 or 3 buses, hour and a half to 2 hours. He said it's extremely inconvenient. And that's because they took away that direct route from Wailea Avenue to Diamond Head. Without that route, our community, sad to say, is underserved by the bus company. It's really underserved. I looked at the whole map of Honolulu, at every neighborhood. There is no other community in which this wide, vast span of neighborhood of 8,000 feet by 4,000 feet is so underserved by the buses. There's no route that transverses either way. So why is that? Okay. So it's not that, we were accused of being anti-bus. No, we're not anti-bus. In fact, we want to have better bus service. I see this as a win-win. This is a win-win. We have a bus route that nobody wants. We couldn't find anybody in support of that. We have, over 100 signatures opposing it. We can even get more. We can do surveys. We can get testimonials. If that's what's going to require, go to social media. We haven't done that yet, and just replace it with a route that everybody wants, that served our community well for at least more than 50 years. And that's what we're asking. Okay. Any questions?
No questions? Oh,
No
you have-
questions?
I have some questions. Can you hear me? Okay, thanks. Couple of questions on the process.
Yeah.
Are the buses up and running now? Is that route
Yeah.
active?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were running on August 18, but we weren't given any notice.
So there was no process. I'm not sure. I'm
No.
not familiar with the process, but was it a
Yeah.
process for public input along the way?
No, there was no process for public input. They said that they reported it to the neighborhood boards. So you probably got that presentation, and they showed a number of maps, and I looked at that presentation, and it didn't even label the streets. So we had no idea. And then they said they sent out 200 letters, but in actuality, I questioned who are these people got the letters, because I live right on the street. I never got it. Then they said that, they sent 14 out to the people who fronted the bus stops fronted. Yeah, that was the only.
Sorry, just real quick on that question. No, we didn't get anything. One of the bus stops came right in front of our house. And in Kapahulu, because the sidewalks are butted up against the homes, that bus stop was about 3 feet from our bedroom window. So no, we got nothing from Department of Transportation. What we saw was a barricade on the side of on our sidewalk that said effective. Then this is on a Thursday, on a 3-day weekend. So Thursday at 3:30 in the afternoon, we see the barricade and the notice was effective Sunday, the bus stop is going to be here. So that we had no notice, but yes.
Thank you. I'm just not familiar with the public process. Usually when there's an impact to any transportation, there usually is some type of input, a public input process where, neighborhood, you would think so, but I just don't know if that's the case in bus routes. Is Tommy Waters or is it Calvin Say? Who's your council member?
Waters is being informed of it, but the answer was that they wanted us to work through the neighborhood boards first.
That's
And
fair.
which is very reasonable. And, frankly, that's why we're doing this. We're going door to door because there was no opportunity for public input. Now it's after the fact, this is like 4 months later. And so actually we're doing because the planning processes says that you should have public input at the outset, especially with a new bus line going through a residential neighborhood, right?
Should.
So
Thank you. Thank you for
we're
your
happy.
efforts.
We're hoping for a win-win situation of working with Department of Transportation and working out a viable solution for all 3 neighborhoods. That's what we're aiming for. So we do have a, you know, a promise that we're going to meet with them. They're going to meet with us through the Diamond Head Neighborhood Board Traffic Committee. Okay? But in the meanwhile, we're kind of doing the homework of collecting information, opinions, and we want to know what Pālolo residents feel like in terms of, you know, the bus line. But in looking at the way that it would go, it's probably a win-win to have Pālolo residents be able to go that route instead of going that other route.
Go ahead. If you,
The Kaimaki Neighborhood Board, I'm a member. I really want to thank them. They've been working really hard on this, and they were not informed before the route started, from what I understand. So Kaimaki Neighborhood Board has been very supportive. I lived in Kaimaki for 32 years, and Aloha has always been kind of a scary street because the blind spots and speeding, and there's no curbs, lines, no median lines. I requested the city and county a few years ago, but they were not receptive to it, putting a median line there. So with buses now, it's quite scary. I was just driving there the other day and the bus 200 was coming towards me on one of those hills. And it's hard to see the bus coming. So I really feel for them. And you know, I love Kamiki. I've been there 32 years. So I hope we can resolve this and make it a win-win. And I think for Pālolo, it'll be a nice access to Kamiki town, the banks, restaurants. And I feel Pālolo, I know people in Pālolo too, and I feel it's part of Kamiki neighborhood. Like we're kind of blended in together in a way. And we have this unique Kamiki town, which is one of the rare towns in the whole island right now. Not too many like Kamiki town, very special. And anyway, I want to thank you for your listening and having us here.
thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask if you folks had talked to residents of Pālolo Valley about your concerns and the bus route as part of your survey or going to door.
Okay, I can answer that.
Yeah.
We just over the weekend drove because we know now that we have to get Pālolo to be supportive of what we're doing because they're part of this whole. I mean, you folks are the reason why we got the bus stop where it is and coming through us to get down to Waikiki. But we drove the bus route, and we came upon that the I guess you could call it a little hub where people are going to catch the bus 200 to go up into the valley, which is McDonald's. So we sat and we were able to talk to quite a few people. So versus us going up and you know parking and trying to knock on doors, we don't know. We could guess all day long and not know who would catch the bus. So I think if we that was a good plan. If we just sat with there, we'd catch everybody that's using the bus. So yeah, that's going to be that's where we're going to be this weekend. So what is the one deliver at the bus stop? They did it.
Thank you, everyone. Does anyone have any other questions or feedback on this topic?
Hey guys, my name is Francis. I've been a resident of Pālolo for 7 years. I got a couple questions. Were you guys able to, when you were canvassing, talk to anyone from Aloha who do ride the bus from Aloha? And for example, like that one kupuna that was trying to ride the bus right from that's like someone like that, how would they ride the bus if there wasn't the 200 on a wheelchair? Oh, and then also, could you go over the proposed change again with the new route? Thanks.
Thank you for that question. The buses pass my house, so I can look at and see what's the ridership. very, very few riders. Okay, like I said, it's Aloha is right in between the Kilauea bus route number 3, and I used to take that bus, and number 2, I used to take that bus too because I grew up in Kapuhulu. So it's right in the middle, like 1 or 2 blocks away. So, you know, people have alternatives, and so there's very little ridership that you're going to get by going on Aloha. Okay, I think you would get more ridership, and people are asking for that bus route going up and down that used to exist. Okay, so the answer is, well, most of the people in Aloha signed the petition. They don't want it. And whether they ride the bus or not, because, okay, maybe I don't ride the bus, but my kids rode the bus to go to school. And across the street, my neighbor, her son goes to Kalani and said, wow, this is really hard now. He cannot go to Kalani, you know, on the bus that used to go up there and straight to Kalani. Now you have to go a roundabout way. Yeah. Yeah, you have to transfer and do all kinds of funny kind of things. So it's extremely inconvenient by removing that access line. Yeah.
What would really be helpful for me is if you could, can you step over there, use this microphone? I don't like, because you say, come on, go in the middle.
Okay. Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, there you go. I know, that's why I have my own simple diagram. Okay. Okay, so now it goes along this red line over here to go there. Okay, it goes this red line to go there. And can you see this is like number 3 and this is like number 2. So it's going right in between 2 existing bus lines and on the perimeter where you have 2 other buses here. You know, so that the perimeter is already covered by buses. So you don't need any additional buses going along the perimeter. But what they took away was this route. Okay, they took away this route, which was 9. So now this whole thing is open. Okay, so you still have these buses going here. You have the 14, the other buses going around serving Kahala Mall and this area, Wilhelmina Rise, but there's no access from Wailai Avenue to Diamond Head Road. There's no direct access. So can you see the problem? Yeah, it means that these people are not served very well. And then you have the Kamiki Middle School, you have Diamond Head Cemetery, and the kids, you know, who want to go to Kamiki Town afterwards, well, they would have to walk, you know, whatever, go to Kahala Mall and then try to get to Kamiki Town. Yeah. So it's, you know, it's a very simple diagram. You just look at a square and then you say, okay, you want to put in one bus route now that's going to connect this and that. Where would you connect it? Where would you draw the connection? And it would be right down the middle. That's a science. If you want to follow the science, that's a science. And the reason is because it would maximize your bus coverage for all the residents of Kamiki. It would minimize the distance that they would have to travel to the bus line. But you put it along at the edge here, along with 2 existing bus lines, it's not going to accomplish anything to increase your ridership. In fact, it cannibalizes the other 2 bus routes. Can you see that? So it just really doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they did that. It makes no sense at all. And we're kind of upset because, you know, we want the bus and we want the bus to serve the communities, but it should serve us equally as well. You know.
What was the reasoning that the bus company gave to you folks of why they chose the route that they selected? Did they say anything?
Yeah, they said that, okay, if you want to go to Market City to KCC, that's how you would drive. And the other, yeah, and I'm saying, well, that really doesn't make sense because, you know, you may not necessarily drive that route. And even if you are, that's no reason to put a bus route on a dangerous street, you know? I mean, is that not convincing? And in addition, if you look at the modeling of how you would design a bus route, that would be your least best choice. That would be absolute worst choice on an existing bus route where you have two bus lines going down this way. And then, okay, you have to transfer, but you still have two bus lines going that way, you know. And if you have two bus lines and the buses come every 10, 15 minutes. So it's really not that inconvenient for the KCC students or whoever wants to get that route. But for the people who want to go this route up and down, it's extremely inconvenient, you know, because you have to now go to Market City or Kahala Mall in order to get down here. So these people who are at the bottom part of Kamiki are now totally unserved by the buses. You know, so don't ask me why they did that. I think you have to ask, we want to ask them, yeah, why they did that.
Thank you.
Just quickly, there used to be a 9S bus here before, and then bus route 9, right? Used to come this way down Cocoa Head and then 18th Avenue, but they took it away. And I have friends that live in this area. There's a lot of homes from 18th Avenue to 20th and then up to Ocean View Road. They don't have any bus access now. And here, Alahea has 3 bus lines. I live closer to Kilauea Avenue. So I walk to Kilauea too if I had to catch a bus. I'm on Mauna Loa. So Alahea can go to Kilauea or Campbell. So just wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you guys. Thank you everyone, ladies, for coming out and making us aware of this. Everything that you've shared is very helpful. It makes sense. At this time, of course, unfortunately, we don't have quorum to take action. But like I mentioned, it makes sense. Your concerns and, you know, the maps that you provided. Thank you, super helpful. Maybe we can get somebody from DTS to answer questions. But as of now, unfortunately, we don't have quorum, so we won't be able to take action. But we really appreciate it. Like we said, we appreciate this information and we'll definitely reach out to our community. What you proposed makes sense. Unfortunately, we're told that we can't. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. All right. So we're going to move on for presentations. We have the crop swap community event. She's going to mention. Okay. Martha Sampson.
Hi, my name is Martha Sampson. I've lived in Pālolo Valley over 40 years, and I'm here on behalf of my daughter, Kaleolani Leo, who lives on 10th Avenue, and she was born and raised in this neighborhood for over 40 years too. And she decided that she wanted to start a nonprofit, and she called it Long Spoon Farms. And it's to promote people with community gardens and sharing our harvests with each other. So when she was, has had this for several years actually, and had to quit when she had little Sage, you might have seen over here. And so she's just now wanting to start that up again. So I have some flyers for you, and it's going to be at 4 p.m. on the 15th day of each month. It will it be at Pālolo Valley District Park. And so her first one is going to be December 15th and will be monthly thereafter. So maybe if you could take some of these flyers and pass them around.
Perfect. If it's helpful, you can also leave it at the front table if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say Kaleo sends her regrets. She had a family emergency right at the last minute. And so, you know, she left her flyers. Oh, also, she's brought some sample. She freeze dries food to try and preserve people's harvests and their food and prevent, you know, food spoilage and, you know, things like that. So she sent samples of her freeze drying for the neighborhood board members. And I'm sorry, I don't know who all of you are, but if you could come up to me. And also, if anybody has any questions, I will try my best to answer them. So,
Mahalo.
okay.
Mahalo, Martha. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And thank you for coming out tonight. Okay. We're going to move on to resident community concerns. No? Okay. Oh.
I'm one who uses Pālolo swimming pool regularly. Oh, I'm one who goes to Pālolo swimming pool regularly, and there are a whole number. Oh, what?
Sorry, your
Oh,
name.
my name.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm Joanne Nishiki.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so now Pālolo pool is open 4 nights a week because Manoa pool is closed for renovation. And the parking lights, there's 5, none of them are working. So the pool nighttime swim ends, I believe, 8:30. By the time the lifeguards are done, it's, you know, and they're by themselves because everybody else is gone. And it's spooky, and it can be treacherous. So you don't know who's, you know, about. And so it's been that way for a while. And I know recently occasionally they have nighttime activities or evening activities, like they had the boxing and things like that. So, you know, there's a lot of people milling about. And so, you know, you have these lights that would be on if you could get I don't know what the problem is. Is it the light bulbs or whatever? But, you know, what use is it if it's not in use? So anyway, I'm just voicing for the Pālolo pool members.
Hi, my name is Hoka Keel. I live in Pālolo Valley. Concerning about this is a continuing issue. We're dealing with our invasive Ibiza tree again. And did we hear anything?
Okay, so this has been longstanding, almost it's closing in on, it must be closing in on close to a year. I think March, we came to a couple of neighborhood board meetings. During that interval, high winds, trees toppled, domino effect, nobody came to address it. You know, Pool was nice enough to survey and look at the damage and that kind of stuff. But I guess there are bigger priorities. But
She comes back. There was a tree that was growing First, I thought it was a twig. It's an abuser tree right against the fence. And I'm just waiting for that. It's been like almost less than a year and it's over 7 foot. It's kind of tall already and it's passing to the point where if any wind blows, it's going to topple over into our yard.
Eventually, house roofs and, you know, it's like I've been up there because my property goes up the hill about half there's a hill just at the end part of my property. So about halfway up is where our property ends and Board of Water, what their oversight is theirs. So we are clearing the land that we can reach of, you know, whatever we can overgrowth. But there's a chain link fence, actually two on each side of the borders of the cement canal that runs parallel to our homes. And this is a good thing because before, like, you know, the wild pigs and people, whatever, could easily cross. So at least that canal is, but what's the canal prevents the crossover, but it also prevents us from being able to cut back the overgrowth beyond. So where we are, I mean, it's like Hoku and we had several other neighbors. They've been doing a yeoman's job about keeping, you know, this land clear. But during Albizia pod season, I was gone for about, close to a month during the peak of the season. But I came back in the waning part of, and this is what I collected, 2 days of collections, a day and a half of, 2 days of collections. My yard, and you know, this is all on my property or the neighboring, the BWS oversight. And this is just it's pods, seeds, pods. And each pod has about 8 seeds. And a lot of these don't have seeds already because, you know, so where do the seeds go but plant themselves? So, you know, when they talk about Albizia being invasive, it truly is because all of this, I was going to be dramatic and rip this open and let it fly, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, but you see my point? This is just 2 days of collection, and this is at the end of the pod season. I've seen the winds take the pods and bring it, and fortunately it's, you know, out of my yard. It brings it down Narcissus Street, and the poor people who live at the end, at the turnaround point, I don't know what they see, but just my yard alone, and the wind helps me keep it clean because whatever I don't pick up, the wind takes, you know? And the trees are so tall, they grow so fast, they're so tall. When the pods are up there, I've been at the swimming pool, I look around, there's no Albizia trees real nearby, but there's pods. So it's bringing the pods from wherever. Right now, my understanding is the concentration is eradication in Manoa. We're going to have the same problem quite soon. Look at this, 2 days. You understand? You know, it's like we're doing what we can, but what more can we do? Short of climbing into the wilds and bringing our, you know, chainsaws and, I mean, you know, and a lot of us who live in Pālolo, you know, in Carlos Long, lot of kupuna. So, you know, I guess we can come up with a squad and, you know, but we're asking for help. But apparently, again, we're low on the totem pole. So do we have to wait until one of the trees crashes into our homes with possibly, and I've been up there working when high winds and I've heard the crack and I've had to kind of look around to make sure the tree wasn't falling my way, you know? So help.
Thank you so much for that. We'll definitely Okay. Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. Bringing it again. We appreciate it. We'll definitely reach out to the city and see what kind of help and support we can get. Okay. We're going to move to Congressman Ed Case. No? And then we're going to go Pua for City Council Member Calvin Say.
Aloha, everyone. This is Pua from Councilmember Say's office. You guys can hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay. So mahalo everyone for all the recognition for my boss. I told him I would call him Uncle Say after I leave him, but you know, he's gonna be with us until the end of the year, till January 2nd. So any kind of concerns, I am following up with Narcissus, and also the I'll follow up with the swimming pool situation with the lighting at my office as soon as I get back to the office tomorrow. So the events, so we have a monthly newsletter, and that's going to be done at the end of the month, because it's going to be kind of a announcement and appreciation to our boss, to make sure that, you know, he finishes strong. We have some announcements. So the Kakela Drive and Mohala Waterway System improvements is gonna be, it already started November 1st, and it should be done by the fourth quarter of 2025. They're planning, the Board of Water Supply has scheduled construction projects along Kakela Drive and Mohala Way that involves the installation of new water mains and service laterals in the Manoa area and also Pālolo area. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Welcome to Pālolo sign, but the new Welcome to Pālolo sign is up in Triangle Park. What had happened was, it's a kind of interesting story. It's a cool story. At Jared Middle School, it was made by the classmates back in the day in 1992. And when it fell, the Department of Facility Maintenance tried to maintain it and try to put it back. But due to the fact that it was already, since 1992, it was already done, they actually recreated a new one. So if you look at the new Welcome to Pālolo sign, it's really nice. And also there's a picture of Boss and everybody else from DFM, and also Rep. Jackson Sayama in the new picture. So I can send the new picture we have a picture of him in 1992, actually dedicating it to the people of Pālolo, and also the new one. So it's kind of a neat story. The other thing is, right now there's, don't forget, there's the real property tax timeline. So go to www.realpropertyhonolulu.com. Make sure to check the timeline. If anybody needs to pay a real property tax, make sure you take care of or actually look at the timeline. The Kuahea stabilization project is at www.honolulu.gov. Kuahea Street Area Stabilization Project, for any kind of updates. There's a homeowner's handbook to prepare for natural disasters. The past couple of days, it's been super windy. So just, you can download it from the website. It's actually, for natural disasters, you can Google that. And then there's a booklet that comes out for free. And then let's see if there's anything else. There was an incident earlier December that there was illegal fireworks from Pālolo Housing that kind of went off. We're looking into it right now. We're doing some investigation on that. We put a request out to HPD and any other departments that's needed for that incident. We also have a 2339 Mile road cleanup that's in progress right now. Other than that, we have, does anybody have any questions for Uncle Say? No? I know. Mahalo. I'll tell him that. Mahalo.
No questions. Thank you so much, Pua.
Awesome.
Thank you for being here too.
Sure. No problem.
We have DFM Deputy Director Warren Mamizuka from Mayor Rick Blangiardi's office.
Aloha and good evening. Warren Mamizuka, Deputy Director for the Department of Facility Maintenance. So if you can check out this month's mayor's newsletter, Camila can put the link in the chat, please. Just a few things to highlight for the newsletter. It's showing aloha this holiday season. City prepares to announce a new landfill site, which I think we already did. So not in Waianae, not a Cooley, so that's good. Celebrating Oahu storied places, new city leaders, and providing an immersive learning experience for students. You guys can check that out on the link when Camila put that up, yeah. So this is just a carryover from last month for issues. So let me see. There was an issue on a monster home on 10th Avenue. Member Kawamoto shared the residential property, 1936 10th Avenue. Recently undergone renovations. The board would like to request information from DPP to know if the property's renovations were permitted to extend their parking. For context, board member Kawamoto shared the house has gotten bigger, and they have also extended their driveway ramp by taking away a sidewalk, which removed street parking for residents in the area. DPP responded with, after researching, DPP permit issuance branch has found no permits issued for renovation work. The last building permit issued to 1936 10th Avenue was for solar photovoltaic installation. DPP needs additional response time for our building division to investigate if any work was done without the necessary permits. So I guess we just got to give DPP a little more time as they investigate. And then I should be back, maybe in a couple of months with a proper response from Member Kawamoto. I would also like to add that the Honolulu City Lights lighting ceremony and electric light parade was last Saturday. If you haven't been down to Honolulu Hale at the Civic Center grounds, please do so. We actually have some new displays. It's the light displays. We have a co-sponsorship with Show Aloha Land, Mike Gangloff. So we have a lot of light displays, not just on the Civic Center grounds, but also up on Alapa'i, Baratania, and on Punch Bowl, using right in front of the Kalani Moku building. So if you guys get time, stop by, see a lot of lights. So yeah, at this time, I'll take any questions.
Yeah, a question. The lights at the pool, does that come under your department or is it parks?
Which lights?
The lights at Pālolo
Well,
pool.
technically, it's under parks, but we maintain and repair. So I'll have to check with our guys if they received a work order for the repairs. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
No questions. Thank you so much for your time.
you.
And thank you for all of the efforts into the light show. Appreciate it. Governor Josh Green's representative.
Aloha, good evening, everyone. Kiele Amundsen, Communications Director with HIEMA, representing the Governor's Office. Just a few highlights from the Governor's Office. The first one, the Attorney General is diligently working to identify and reduce the amount of illegal robocalls. Phone scammers continue to find new ways to bombard people with illegal calls and text messages. The AG's office is working on strengthening the robocall mitigation database. Some tips to consider when determining whether calls and text messages may be scams. Be wary of callers posing as law enforcement or government agencies who specifically ask you to pay by gift card, money sharing app, wire transfer, or cryptocurrency. The Department of AG's office, law enforcement, and other government agencies will not call to solicit money or threaten arrests of any kind. Never give out personal identifying information such as account numbers, social security numbers, or birth dates in response to unexpected calls. And if you suspect fraudulent activity, immediately hang up and call the phone number on your account statement or government agency to verify the authenticity. Next, the Office of Enterprise Technology Services celebrated 9 technology-focused teams comprised of high school students, college students, and young professionals who took home $18,000 in awards during the 9th Hawaii Annual Code Challenge on November 16th at the University of Hawaii, West Oahu. The HACC is an annual event that solicits challenges from state departments and community groups and asks student, amateur, and professional coders to develop technology applications to help solve specific problems. This year's challenges ranged from improving the state's open data portal to better energy efficiency to creating a game to help identify bird species in Hawaii. Next, December 4th, the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced awards for 17 Hawaii projects totaling $2.6 million under the Resilient Food System Infrastructure, or the RFSI program. The RFSI program is aimed at strengthening middle of the supply chain operations and local food systems by supporting processing, manufacturing, storing, transportation, wholesaling, and distribution of agricultural products. Through this program, the Hawaii Department of Agriculture will fund 4 infrastructure grants and 13 equipment grants to support middle of the supply chain infrastructure. The Department of Law Enforcement, or DLE, Narcotics Enforcement Division, is enhancing the prescription drug monitoring program to help prevent drug overdoses and deaths from lethal drug combinations. The improved PDMP integrates a patient's history of prescriptions for controlled substances into their electronic health record, which enhances the prescriber's ability to identify the dangerous allocation of prescription drug quantities or combinations. For additional highlights from the governor's newsletter, Kealoha, you can access the link in the chat box or go to governor.hawaii.gov. Following up from last month's meeting, the next application for the healthcare education loan repayment program was actually due on December 1st. However, Governor Green will again be seeking money in his budget for this program, so it looks as though he will be extending the program. Pending any questions, this is the end of the governor's office report.
Thank you. Since you brought up robocalls, does that include unwanted political texts that we were hammered with during the presidential election? And there was no way for me to turn them off. They came out a different phone number every time. Is somebody really looking into that?
That's a good question. I can definitely look into that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No more questions? Thank you so much.
Mahalo.
Okay. All right, Representative Jackson Sayama.
Good evening, Chair, board members, members of the public. Happy holidays. We just had an amazing event at the Kaimiki Christmas Parade. It was wonderful to see some of you there. As for some of my updates, as we go into the new year and the new legislative session, we have quite the excitement at the House of Representatives, led by a new leadership team with Representative Nadine Nakamura from Kauai as Speaker and Representative Linda Ichiyama from Salt Lake as Vice Speaker. I think we have a very exciting and competent team that to lead us into this new year and new era in the House of Representatives. As for myself, I've been appointed or assigned to lead the House Committee of Labor. And so I will be dealing with issues of paid family leave, of civil service recruitment reform, workers' compensation, of course, anything related with unions, really. So I'm very excited to take on that role. I know there's a lot of work to be done there as well. Of course, if you have, again, any issues or ideas for legislation that you'd like me to, take a look at, I'm more than happy to talk story with you. Just reach out to me anytime. We will be reintroducing some legislation to deal with some of those local issues in our district, like the feral chicken bill. I think more statewide issues I had introduced previously were the pharmacists worker center, similarly to the physicians worker center that UH Medical School has, basically to promote pharmacy in the state of Hawaii. I will continue to work on condominium governance, condominium insurance issues. Again, that's more of a long-term commitment, but we're looking to regulate condominium management companies and creating reserve requirements for condominium associations. So they do have the monies necessary to invest in repairing the infrastructure in the condominium properties that are driving up that condo insurance that we see today. Again, there's no real silver bullet to this issue. We just got to chip away from different angles, and that's what I hope to do in my work as a legislator. Again, if there's anything that comes up in the district, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy. Also, I did move my office, so it's kind of tucked away in this little corner. I think it's room 443. But feel free to stop by my office. We'll love to host you there and talk story as well. With that, I am available for any questions. Sure. Yes. I think so. Yeah, depends on the information that's being requested. Right, some information I don't have, only the association has. So yeah, it depends. Yeah.
That's it for,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Leslie Hara. All right, we're gonna head into online now. Okay. We're gonna head over to the announcements. So next month, Pālolo Neighborhood Board will recess in January. Next regular meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February 12th, 2025 at 7 p.m. here at the Pālolo Elementary School and online via WebEx. Neighborhood board elections registration is between Friday, December 20th, 2024 to Friday, February 21st, 2025. Please call the NCO office for any assistance at 808-768-3710 for information. Rebroadcasts of Pālolo Neighborhood Board meetings are scheduled each month on Olelo, Channel 49, for fourth Thursday at 9 p.m. and first and third Sundays at 12 p.m. An archive of the meetings may be found online. Okay.
Okay, this is a tradition that our neighborhood board does. So every Christmas event, we'll have a potluck. But prior to that, you have to put up with our singing. So today, we're going to wish you a Merry Christmas. So, so everybody, yeah, we can do a sing along. So everybody help us sing, and then she'll adjourn the meeting, and then we'll potluck. Okay?
Okay. I'm still learning, but Chris. All right, meeting adjourned. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Thank you for coming out.